So I'm browsing the news. I browsed the news, and I just was reading it and recording me reading it. And I don't like the result, and I'm not going to do it again that way. First of all, I have a journalism background. I have a journalism degree, and I studied communications and thought about that in the context of computer communications for all of my career. I combine tech stuff and communications stuff. And so the thought of reading the news, I have several reactions to. First of all, reading the news, just reading it, other people can do that. I think it's sort of boring. I don't idealize newscasters or anything, and I don't want to be one. And so what can I add to reading the news? Well, I tried this, and I did the daily news off AP, Associated Press News. They have a website, and they do fine. It was relatively boring. They avoid clickbaity articles. And I had a few thoughts about then how I can do better. So first we'll talk about a few other problems I had when I did it. There was no plan. And I was going to try a two-camera thing, so sometimes I'm looking at a different camera, and I didn't know how to sync up the audio. And so I just gave up and posted one with very suboptimal everything. I am down in the corner, which is cool. I learned how to do that. That's really easy. I'm using OBS, which is means something about broadcasting system or something. And that's allowing me to use screen capture and capture my face at the same time. It's extremely easy to set up, and I would recommend it. I've seen other people's videos. I got jealous, and I thought, I'm going to react to other videos. I'm going to react to things. Now, one of the obvious things to do is to react to the news. I think, for me, how do I want to do that? Well, one way is collect clips as I go along. Really, what I'd be doing is assembling a show. And I decided not to do daily because, first of all, the daily news is stupid. Most of it. A lot of it's just not interesting enough. It's nicer out here. It's nice to stand up. And I don't care about it. What I care about is a particular form of news, and it's on topics and done in a way that allows me to attach events that occur, not just novel events, but the events that are occurring, and try and fit them into a larger vision of what that means for where we're at, how that relates to the past, how that relates to the future, and how that item is affecting kind of everything, and what it could mean, what it could be an indicator of, what it could signal us our options now are. Every change that occurs is an opportunity to recombine everything with everything and see what happens, which is usually nothing, because shit doesn't change really. It does sometimes a whole bunch. If a meteor lands on you, actually it really doesn't matter because you'd be dead. But if a meteor landed near you, then it could really change your whole life, and that's completely out of your control. I mean, you have to give in to that fact. So the news itself is trivial, but something to watch. And I think I do like these shows. I think what are those guys' names? There's a style of a weekly news show, and my thought is I could actually select things during the week. I would actually have to prepare during the week, and other people could help me do it maybe, and pick the stories that seem to matter, put in a spreadsheet, links to them, and what that story, don't save everything, but, and what we're really looking at here is bigger events that a lot of people are thinking about, and then at the end of the week, and I'm not sure which day of the week, but I make a show, and it should be almost assembled, like it's ready to go, and I just add my last commentary. And because during the week I'll do really quick clips on the story as it develops, but I think at the end, the goal is to have really a wrap up and some big statements about that topic and how it fits in. And that's, me setting my Brian narrative, sharing my story of how things are working in the world. And then you can compare that with yours. And we don't have to agree or anything. In fact, if we did, that would be spooky. And really weird. I do not believe that anyone has any special magic quality to interpret things properly. Because I even want to do prophecy. I want to predict things. Let's guess about the future and what's going to happen. But everybody's guess is just a guess. Some people are guessing better sometimes. That doesn't necessarily mean much. And I don't even know that the source of what you hear should matter in what you're interpreting. I think that's a huge danger. Like celebrity culture, for example. Like these guys, right? What's their fucking names? One of them did a atheist movie. He's kind of schmarmy for me, but I agree with him sometimes. And there's Trevor Noah, who took over for somebody who was really good. And then there's these weekly, shows. I haven't watched a lot of them. I think I should watch some, and I think I should break it down. Like I could even stick it in my video editor and just break down what their sections are. Actually, I think that'd be brilliant, because those are actually the sections I need to create, and there's mimic their format. They all use a very similar one. It'd be fun to actually drag a few of them in and see how they do things different. But the basic thing is to have more coherent statements, more coherent video, because the video I made where I was just reading the news off the screen and reacting to it real time, I don't actually add as much to the conversation as I would like. First of all, I talked about some things I don't really know about or care about. I got a couple of those items and shouldn't have gotten sucked into it. It's just mud, And then, there's. I guess that's one of the. If I make an outline of the tasks that have to happen during the week, if I was ever going to do this, there's actually a lot of work to be involved with that. Just keeping organized. Maybe if I set up the right spreadsheets and I captured images the right way, I could put everything in order ahead of time. And that might actually be pretty fun. And I could add into it a little report on my personal week, and improve my journaling of my weeks. I don't write down a lot. I do record videos, but then by the end of the week, the stuff that happened, the first day of that week, I don't remember exactly what happened. It's on video probably, but I'm not going to go watch the videos to figure out a recap of my own life. Anyway, we'll see if I do it or not. I do keep up on the news, and this might be a structured way that I could keep up on the news and have it not just be cruising from article to article, like, oh, what's that? Because I think that's what I'm afraid of with the news, is that most of it's so irrelevant and designed to hold my attention, and I would rather hold my attention on other things. So I get concerned about reading too much of the wrong news, but still at the same time, there are some issues I think that I could add some interesting thought to. So we'll see what happens. Newscasting. News interpretation. What is that? News commentary. Probably news commentary is what that is.